Hello, this is my review for the 2016 Renegade, specifically the Trailhawk edition. Um, yeah, and I thought this review is unique because it's going to be in the snow, and also too this is Minnesota, so I thought that would be probably one of the best places to test out any vehicle, especially one that's advertised and apparently designed for off-roading. So first, here's the outside. It's the color I have is I think it's charcoal, but crystal metallic clear coat. It hasn't been cleaned yet, just because I probably won't take it through the car wash until usually till spring, because it's too mucky and stuff. And then as soon as you get out of the car wash, it gets dirty here. So. But yeah, so so I'll zoom in so you can kind of see the colors. They come in various different colors too. So that's the color, especially in the sunlight. It's like a metallic-y kind of dark gray. I thought it was black at first on the website. Then when I came, it was during the dark, so it looked black. But during the day, it's kind of like a like a dark gray. But anyways, this is the outside. Has, I think, steel wheel covers. Has the hook too in the front. Here's the front, and here's the back. There's also an option too on the back where you can get a trail hitch. The one that I have didn't come with this option. I'm probably still gonna get it aftermarket, put on myself. And there's this side. We'll get over here so you can see the front too. Oh, by the way, here's the front too. The tradition, the typical Jeepy big, headlights with the 7 grill. It also has I'm not exactly sure if this is cosmetic or it's functional, little like a plasticky top here. There's I forgot the name of it, but there's like an edition you can get where it has it's like not the Trailhawk, it's like Nighthawk or something, where like right here has like a map on it. But anyways, this is the front. It has those rails on top. You can also get this with sunroof, since you would have a sunroof here. There's be another sunroof here too. So I haven't had personal experience, but if you look at other reviews, you can see that sometimes it's kind of cumbersome with the sunroofs on the top, because you can hit a button which will be up top here when I show you the inside, and then they'll move like a regular sunroof, but you can but there's no glass, and so sometimes there'll be rain that'll kind of come in, and so if you want to like clean it or something, you'd have to like pop it off, and so that's kind of glad I didn't get that. But another thing too, on the outside you'll see it has a trailer rated, because I have the Trailhawk edition, which comes with these hooks here. 2 tow hooks in the front, and in case you didn't notice, there's a tow hook on the back too, right there. And then the trail hitch would be right here in the bumper if you got one. It would come out right there. And it's rated to tow about 2,000 pounds. It also has this too. And so what I really like is these bright, big red blinkers too, tail lights, so it's easy to see. And also too, it has like a backwards brim, like a cap. And if you like the stylisticness of it, it's kind of curved. And there's the antenna as well. It does have satellite radio option, which if you get the vehicle, even out through a dealer, I think you get like a few months free. But yeah, so with this one, all the other Renegades have various we can get them 2-wheel drive, but if you get the 4-wheel drive versions of the other ones, they have different options, but this is the only one that comes with the rock option and the 4-wheel drive low. Yeah, and then you can also get some too with like a rail here too, but I don't have the rail. Anyways, this is the outside, and so it's very I don't exactly know how to describe it like nicely. It's pretty much like a weird like remixed Jeep. I've seen a lot of people get upset about this because it doesn't look like your typical like Jeep, like the Jeep Wrangler. So no, like the Jeep Liberty at least locally, has a bad rap because being like the women's Jeep. I think it's a Jeep Liberty. Yeah, for being kind of curvy. So this one is really distinct. You can kind of pick it out from other Jeeps. But that's why I kind of liked it, because it was unique. It wasn't like the typical Jeep. And it's made in Italy too. It was manufactured and put together in Italy. It was helped designed by Fiat. So that's why it kind of looks like a Fiat on steroids, or like it's like a love child between like a Fiat and a Jeep. And so it's like, it still kind of has, definitely has the Jeep off-roadiness and the toughness of a Jeep, but definitely has the Fiat-y looks. But so also too, another thing too is I don't know if, I'm not sure if all Jeeps come with this, but typically when you get your car, you'll have a keyless entry. So you'll have unlock, lock. This is auto start, so you press it twice and it'll start, and the pound button. There's also a option for key here. You press like I can't do it with one hand, but you basically, there's a little option here. You push this and then you can pull the key up in case the batteries die. So another thing too is, as you'll notice in other reviews, people talk about, it kind of has like an amalgamation of various other vehicle elements, which some people like, some people don't. So particularly with this one, is it has a really interesting locking mechanism. So right now, I can press this to lock the doors, and because I have the key remote the key remote with me within so much feet, or so much distance, is I can just put my hand here. You can hear it unlock. And so you want to make sure you never go like this to lock it. You just go like this to lock it. And so you don't have to take out your key to open it up. I mean, you can, obviously, but so you can quick run, boom, unlock, open the door up. And so it's really nice too. And so you can, on the screen in there, program it. But to lock it, if I just unlock this front door, the back doors don't open. But there you go, okay. But if I lock it and go to the passenger side, which is nice if you want to put your kid in, and you go to the passenger side, all the doors unlock. And so one thing I will point out right now is if you want to put your kid on the side of the road, and assuming you're driving this in America, the one thing I noticed is that the exhaust, which is right there, which kind of like points downwards, the smoke will come out here and will kind of kind of gather here, and so it's kind of hard to put your kid in with all this smoke. So it's definitely one big critique I've had, like day one, that there's trying to figure out how to deal with that. I may just put my kid on the other side. But before I get to the inside though, another thing too I like is when we need to go fill it up, press this in, you don't have to worry about a cap. The thing's right there. You just you fill up your car, you push it again, boom. Okay, so let's get inside because it's getting cold. Oh, another thing too is, yeah, it's like black here, and at least with mine, it's like red trim. Other ones will be white with, I think, orange trim. I'm not exactly sure if the logo changes just to match the color interior. But, the inside's like this. Here's the front door. Has a nice red trim here for the speakers. Here's the paneling right here. You get a little spot for phone or whatever. Lock, unlock. You can lock the windows. And this is cool too because it has both the driver and the passenger has auto windows. This way you can adjust your mirrors. And back windows, hall power windows. The seats aren't power, at least in this model. Also too, WeatherTech, definitely good mats. But yeah, so they're manual seats, which aren't okay. It's nice to go old school every now and then. And then just in case people are interested, there's the pedals. There is right down here the spot for the trunk and other things, in case anyone's interested. And then there's the passenger seat too. You get the as my mom calls it, the oh crap handle for when you're going off-roading. There's also handles up there too, but if you're really scared, there's a big handle you can hold on to. And in the center there too, you see the fans for air conditioning too, for either for you or for the vehicle, which I like that they're up there too. I've only had this during winter now, so during this review I've only used the snow option. I haven't used the mud or the rock or the sand option. Waiting to do that until summer, but so I haven't used the air conditioning in here either. Obviously that works because it's 2016. The heat works really well too, especially for the rear windows too. So but yeah, I was gonna say I assume that because those are up there on the top that they would be you know, pretty good for air conditioning. And here's the back too. Even though I'm, you know, 6'1", pretty big Minnesotan, there's still lots of room too back here for even with like a garbage thing. Some could easily fit here, there, and then there's 3 people can sit in the back, 2 people can sit in the front. And then, you know, you can fit your kid in there and a bunch of other junk too, and forget about it. One thing too is really nice is that if you notice right here, you see right there, it's for water bottles. So every door, passengers included, will get a water bottle holder on their door, which is kind of neat. You know, adds to the not only the kind of the ruggedness of it, but you know there are drink holders. But if you want, you can always put your water bottles too, so everyone can have a water bottle holder. I would say something with the lid. Another thing too is you can't see right now, but there's a light here up here, so this is lit and this is lit as well. You can adjust it when I get in the inside right here, but the handles and the water bottle holders are illuminated for you, so at night it's, you know, you can just see your stuff. And then I'll show you the back too. One thing I really didn't like was that on the pictures it looked much bigger, but here's the back essentially. So if you can see, like, here's, you know, ice scraper about, I don't know, about 2 feet, 2.5 feet. So we put this here, it's about, you know, about 2 feet that way, and about, you know, a little bit over 2 feet this way. So it's not super, you know, super big. The lighting too, there's no lighting up top. There's a dome light up there, right there. There's a few lights up here, but otherwise there's no lights up here. There are lights on the side though, which is kind of neat. Oh, and also some options too have a drinking holder here too, but this doesn't have that option. There's nets too for you to hold stuff, and then here's different wiring. There's an option here too to put a thing here to cover it. So as you can see, there's this, you know, thing here too. So there's an option to put like a net to cover it. And then in the front too, I'll show you, but there's also, in the back, there's this, you know, cigarette lighter holder. So if you want to charge anything back here while you're camping or whatever. Also too, these hooks, originally, if you got the version that had the sunroofs, there'd be like about a, you know, 2-inch so bag box thing here that if you take them off, you could put them here, and so that would reduce your trunk space about 2-3 inches or so, and you would strap them to here. And so while this comes standard in all of them, I don't have that because I don't have the sunroof. So, you know, you can strap things down here if you really want. There's that option, those hooks. Just be careful too. I noticed that if these hooks are up, your thing won't lock, your door won't close, and so you know, yeah, so I figured that out on my own. Another thing too is, which is pretty neat, is right here with this up, it's a full spare, not just a dinky tiny one. It's like an actual tire spare with, you know, obviously all the parts and stuff too. So it comes with a full spare. It's pretty nice. This thing folds down. Oh yeah, there's the hooks back there too, so you can strap stuff down if you want. So it is, you know, it is not your Suburban back, but you can fold the seats down too, and, you know, have much more room for hauling like bikes and stuff, or, you know, use the trailer hitch option too. So now we'll go inside too. Another thing too is, you notice there's the Jeep. They really wanted, even though it looked really different and it was designed by Fiat, they kind of really wanted to show you that it was still a Jeep, and so you notice that logo is pretty much everywhere. And also too, this is to unlock it, this is to lock it as well. In order to unlock this, you have to have the key fob with you. And here also too is the backup light. Right there, it has a backup camera. And here too, I believe it's up. Where is it? No, I think it's like right here is where the spray goes. So it does have spray option too. So we'll go to the inside now too, so you can kind of see what the inside looks like. So you go in, you know, nice big door. This has cloth seats too. It's a Trailhawk, and if you notice too, it also has map seats. You can also get leather too. The steering wheel is, I think, leather standard, depending on what you get. So here's your dash, which is interesting. I'll show you in a little bit. Here's a steering wheel, you know, thick. You know, if you use my thumbs, about at least an inch thick, but about maybe an inch and a half, depending upon like these, you know, these parts right here. So it's a nice steering wheel. This is plastic. The horn. That's the horn. The horns here. There's also a different this is almost, you know, jokingly, but like seriously as well, this car is almost designed for like millennials. Because like the steering wheel is pretty much a game controller. Where you have these different options for selecting the menu setting, but also to this is for menu setting. This is for calls too. You can answer calls. This is for setting the speed on the highway if you want, you know, for the cruise control. Yeah, so you click this for cruise control. You set the speed. You can go up and down, and then if you press the brake, you can hit resume. The usual cancel if you don't want to. Blah blah blah. And then here's the lighting too, which is interesting because when I first tried this out at the dealership, it took about 10 minutes before we could go because we couldn't figure out how to turn the lights on. But what happens is with the lights, this only works when it's started. If it's auto started, the lights won't work, so you have to start the car first, which it was auto started. We didn't realize that. So, but here's the different options for lighting. If you saw, it has fog lights, which are nice. I think they're standard halogens. They're not LED, so I still have to upgrade to LED because halogen is nice. It just isn't, you know, up to par with what I want. So it's standard halogen, even though it's, you know, 2016 model. But yeah, so there's auto, which means that the lights, there's a sensor up there, so when it's dark enough, the lights will go on, and then, you know, when it's light enough, the lights will go off. And another thing too is that as soon as you turn the car off, the lights will go off as well. And so, you know, if you, by the way, it'll ding too. If you don't have your seatbelt on, it'll ding if you don't have, you know, if you have lights on. So auto's really nice if you just wanted just to, don't want to hassle with turning the light on and off again. You just turn it on. So by the way, there's a light, parking lights, and then the lights are off. I'll usually keep the auto, and you click this for plastic for the fog lights. This right here is for the interior lights, which is for the handle for the water bottle holder. Plus there's this tiny little light up here, right here, that turns on, and it kind of gently kind of illuminates this area just so you can kind of see things. But I mean, this is lit up too, and you know, you have your flash drive, and so I mean, it does help. It's not like a super bright light like these lights right here, but I mean it's a neat light. Here too is on the model, if you get one with a sunroof, here's where the sunroof clamp would be. You'd press the button, I think about right here, you press this button, and it would auto go on and off, and right here would be a little clamp. You'd have to use a little device to pull the handle, and you'd pull the handle, or use a device to unclick the handle, and then you'd pull the handle to pull the sunroof off. So that's that, but obviously, since I don't have it, that's there. And I believe this is a speaker. I haven't connected my phone yet because I have an iPhone. So iPhone users will have a difficult time connecting to this. It's mainly designed for Android. So there's that. So I don't have any use with the phone option as well. So I don't know how well it works. There is a way to also send text as well through voice. You click a button and you could say something and it'll send it in a text as well. But I haven't used that. That sounds way, too much work while you're driving. I'm talking, I can kind of do But sending, dealing with it, this is a lot of stuff. Another thing too on the steering wheel is that if I can figure out how to do this, I don't know if you can see it well or not, but there's buttons right here, and there's buttons right here that can control the music. So this controls the volume back here. There's buttons there's like buttons back here that control the track list. So you can switch tracks, go to the next track or the previous track. And so while you're sitting here, you're like pressing all these buttons while you're like, you can use this to check your mileage and go through. I'll show you the menu, and then you can press this to go to the track. You do the volume while you're driving. So it's like a gaming controller while you're going. And so I know like my parents definitely, would have to. Couldn't multitask that fast, but it's, so if that, that's something that bothers you, like you can pull off in the road and then switch a track, or just do it old school on here, even now this is old school using buttons on the radio, but and so you have you have the options for your different blinkers. You have the main blinker and your back blinker, and also too, if you switch it to this option or these two options right here, it's auto wipers as well. And so not only is it auto light, it's also auto wipers. And so as soon as it detects any moisture, it'll turn on too. So just be prepared if you do, just kind of leave these on as like default while you're driving. As soon as it rains or like even a little bit of snow will melt, it'll turn on. So it might scare you. And here's a speedometer too. There's the accent right here too. This little like mud accent. Some people think it's cute. Some people don't like it. I kind of like it. It's neat. There we go. And then there's the screen, which I'll show you. And then here's the speedometer, miles per hour, and the various different things it'll tell you. And so, I guess we just do that. So to start it, you press. Oh yeah, another thing too is it's kind of funny is it says, "To new adventures" on the key start thing, which is, so this is plastic with plastic as well. So it's not like rubber, super quality. So I don't exactly know how long this will last. But yeah, so what you do is you press the pedal, you press the start. So it's kind of like, so it's interesting. Oh, let me get it's gonna keep thinking because I don't have my seatbelt on. I've tried it for, it won't stop. I've tried it just to see, like just driving around in my parking lot, it won't stop. So okay, so also too, it has a, as you notice here, it'll let you know when your tire pressure is low. So it's supposed to be 35. Once it gets to be about 30, it'll start dinging you every time to inflate it. I haven't done it yet, so we're gonna just skip this. And so with here, even though you have your RPMs and your speedometer here, you can also get a electric speedometer, which tells it to you twice. You also have the direction and the temperature as well. And here's your gas and engine temperature too. So so these are just usual, the needles with that. But this is all like digital, and so on here you can press different things, and so I'll show you the different options. So you can do, so there's settings, screen setup, there's messages, which is if there's anything wrong with your vehicle, it'll send you messages. Inflate, so it'll just tell you that in case anything's going on, if you have messages on your phone. Audio, it'll tell you the song you're listening to. There's your trip, so you can show your last trip is how long, average miles per gallon. It'll tell you. So miles per gallon too. I forgot to say that. One thing I like about this car is it's rated to be about 20 to 22 in town, about 29 on the highway, which is exactly my mid-sized car. I had a Saturn L200 before this, so it's about the same gas mileage. And so one thing that kind of has kept me away from four-wheel drives is usually the gas mileage, but this one is rated for that. Sometimes it'll say I'm getting like 25 miles a gallon in the city, but I don't exactly know how accurate this its own measurements are, because I know some people, I've seen a lot of reviews where people kind of question, is this really, you know, the miles per gallon I'm getting? But at least for right now, because I've been using four-wheel drive a little bit during the snow, I'm getting about 18 miles a gallon. And I'll tell you the time too, and then you tell you that, yeah, here is fuel economy. So I'm getting about average 25 miles a gallon, because I haven't taken this on the highway yet too much, just mainly just, you know, in town. And then you haven't taken on a trip yet. And then you know, vehicle info, and then speedometer. With the vehicle info, you can also go through, if you notice the different dots, there's the coolant temp. I tell you that temp, the oil temp, and then battery voltage, so you know if your battery's going low, and then you know your tire again. So, but you can put your speedometer here too. And if you go to different settings, there's an option too where you go, what was it? Fuel economy. There's one where I did it so you could mess around with your settings right here. Oh yeah, you go safety assistance, display, security. So if you go to safety and assistance, you can just do the buzzer volume. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Otherwise, security, speed warning, hill start assist, speed warning. So I think the speed warning will tell you, it must be when you're hitting a certain speed, it'll tell you when you're yeah. And then display. It also has hill assist too, form repetition. What's that? Oh, it's a little, I didn't notice that it even has a Jeep logo right there too when you select it. So I'm not exactly sure what that is. This is not in the manual. It comes with two manuals. There's like a quick guide and there's like a full manual on a DVD. I've only read the quick guide, so I don't know exactly what this does. But anyways, yeah, you can go to different settings on here for the display and stuff. There is a way where your screen set up too, so you can go through different screens. You can, oh cool, so you can put what you want. So in the upper left, upper right, the center, and then gear display. It's kind of neat. So you can put what you want. So if you want the temperature over here, you know, whatever, or if you want, so yeah, right here you can put miles per gallon. So I mean, you could potentially be doing this while you're driving, so you know how your speed is, but you can also with here too. But I'm not recommending that. Please do not do that. I'm not telling you to do that. With great power comes great responsibility. But anyways, yeah, I usually just put on the speedometer. You hit OK for kilometers a mile too, or kilometers per hour too. So if you want to, you know, so if you're going like this, you can just click OK and you know, tell your passenger, wow, I'm going 70 miles an hour. They're like, what? And it's really kilometers. So you can have some fun there. But yeah, that's that. So it's like a whole screen there too. And if you notice too, like I'll turn the car off. Press big pedal. So when you auto start it, it'll say press the power button to start. But so I'll start it now, and you'll see like the startup screen. Oh, usually it runs longer than that. But yeah, it'll say Renegade, and so it has like its own startup screen, which is really interesting. But anyways, yeah, that's that. I'll keep this on this one. And here's there's three different options you can get in these Jeep Renegades. There's the Radio 3, there's the Uconnect 5, and the Uconnect 6.5 nav. This option right here is the Uconnect 5, and so it's kind of the intermediate. The Radio 3 is just a radio. It has more simplified buttons. This one is Uconnect 5, and so it does have compass, has, you know, not really apps like you think of. It has radio, media, you can connect to the phone. Uconnect 6.5 nav is like the more deluxe version, where you can, obviously it's compass, but it's also a navigator too. It has GPS on here, has a bigger, oh yeah, the number is the size of the screen, and so this is 5 inches. The radio is about 3-inch screen, and the 6.5 is 6.5 inches screen. I think it's the same tall-wise, but width-wise is bigger. So yeah, it has a bigger screen, and that's a navigator, so it has GPS. You can also connect to an app, and so if you download the Uconnect app, you can start your car, you can lock your car, you can check your car's info on your app, so if you're into that. Otherwise here, so you start like this. It's a touch screen as well. So you click to radio. So it'll tell you this every time, unless you're driving. Just click accept, and then it'll tell you the album art, and you can click radio. Go to different radio stations. You can tune it manually, or you can auto tune it. You can save your presets up here. I've only saved one. You can go like this too to adjust it. Press this, go to media. Yeah, so you go right here, you can choose, you go to artists, artists. It's a really good touchscreen actually. You can choose the different stuff, browse by. So you can do it by album, which I really like that. I was worried that it's just gonna like just start and just go randomly through it, but you can actually select each album. When the album's done, it'll replay. And so if you're an album listener like I am, it's really good for albums. And so you can actually listen to the whole album. It's not just like a playlist where you just put all your music on here. It's one giant playlist that'll load, and you have to sit there scrolling through, tons of songs. But yeah, so it'll choose the album and replay the album, or you can make like a playlist yourself if you just want like a playlist of different songs that would go on random. You can do that as well. So there's that option. Yeah, so, and then you can also turn the screen on and off too if you don't want it on. Turn that on. There's the compass. So even though the compass is right there, if you turn it off, you can keep this as your compass if you want a bigger one. So now we're west. And then, yeah, and then the apps too. The apps isn't exactly what, it's not like you can play solitaire on here, but it's mainly, it'll tell you the outside temp. You go to your clock, change your clock, and the different settings. And it's just the voice, the display, the units, clock and date, doors and locks, brakes, lights. So you can have different sensitivity, greeting lights. You can do all sorts of different stuff. Doors and locks, auto, flashlights with lock, horn with lock. So you can choose all your different settings for what you want on here. So for the display, you can go up here, but otherwise for your whole car, this is kind of like the main entrance to like your car settings for locking and the different headlights and your clock, and how you want things to lock. If you just want all the doors to unlock when you unlock it, or just one, which door, and so that'll be right here. Otherwise, you have the radio. The phone too. I haven't used the phone. Otherwise, there's back. So you go to back. There's you can unmute, mute, the radio on, mute it. So there's that. Turn that off. Then down here, obviously, here's your, it's pretty touchy. You just like barely have to touch it. If you see it, it's just barely. So really nice not to click, a whole button. This too is just the regular, I think this is the basic one. For your temperature control. There is one where it has like a dual zone, so you can set have a little screen here. You can select the temperature. I don't really like that. I don't really like the dual zone, so I'm glad that I got this on here. Otherwise, I would have been annoyed. I don't like things too fancy. So this is. At first I thought I was going to hate this, but it's pretty bare bones for a touchscreen, so it's really nice. It's nothing too fancy. I mess around with it a little bit, but nothing. It's not too overly complicated, and the buttons are really easy. It's just, it tells you compass, apps, phone, media, radio. So it's not like, it's not a whole bunch of weird buttons and stuff. And so it's pretty basic. I like that. Otherwise, this, you can push here. Here's your control for your, for the speed, intensity. Here's your temperature control, and here's where you can go to face, blah blah blah. And you push this. Usually when I start the car, this is default, so I have to go in the settings to see if I can change that. Which is nice though for the winter, is this is default so it'll automatically do the rear defrost, which is nice. And then here's this too. So here is the Trailhawk. This is the Trailhawk version right here. So this is just Trailhawk. All the other versions have one button, which is this 4-wheel drive lock, and so right now it's an auto. I'm not exactly sure. I've been asking some car people how that works, and they're not sure, because usually, not to make it too complicated, like with 2-wheel drive, obviously there's two wheels driving. In order to get four-wheel drive, there has to be, you know, a mechanism to turn the other two wheels, whether it be the front wheels or the back wheels, for all-wheel drive, or for four-wheel drive. So usually you have to kind of sit, and it's a big mechanism that goes in and then starts it. But this one apparently kicks in while you're driving, according to the description in the book. So, yeah, so, but I'm not exactly sure how that works. Basically what you do is you stop the vehicle. I know some older vehicles you have to put in neutral. As far as I know, you can put this in park. I haven't done this while driving yet, so I don't think you can mess with this while driving, or it just won't work. But all you would do is you just click this. It's an auto now, so you want snow. Just click to snow. There it goes. You just click to snow. Turn it. Sand, the mud, the rock, which is just the trail. Yep. So the rock will just be blinking because that's just the Trailhawk version. Otherwise, the rest of them I think have snow, sand, and mud, and then auto. So obviously, when you click it to anything else, it'll be four-wheel drive lock. So it will lock into four-wheel drive and stay with four-wheel drive. And if you're really stuck, or if you're towing someone out or something, you can hit it in a four-wheel drive low, and that'll be blinking. There's also what's it called? Hill Assist 2. I'm not exactly sure how to use that exactly. I haven't looked at the manual yet. All I know is there's an option where if you're going downhill, it'll assist you and it'll differentiate the power to your wheels. And so I know with the rock mode, it like uses the computer to kind of figure out where the torque is needed and where the most power is needed. So it'll kind of go through all the different wheels and calculate as you're driving, which is pretty fancy. But otherwise, yeah. If you do, even if you're in auto, you can still click this off. Or if you just want to do regular four-wheel drive, you can just do that. But I usually just, with their snow, I click into snow mode. And so another thing too is, which is kind of neat, is when you switch the different things, it'll be snow, sand, mud, or rock. Right now it doesn't have an animation. You just... Someone just honked? Oh, that's weird. Yeah, so otherwise it's an auto right now, so that'll show on your screen too, so you can see a little, animation. Yeah, so also too, you have this little spot here that has like a map too. So here you can put your phone. I just put my my garage door opener because the things up here are too thick. They're too thick for garage door openers, which is kind of a bummer. There's no stuff up here to keep it up here too, so I just kind of put it down there. And otherwise, you have a spot for USB. You have two USB spots in the car, so you just plug this in, and then you could get your music. And this is lit too. This is the second 12-volt adapter here. There is also another option here in here too, which is in the seat right here. There's the second USB options back here. This is also lit around it too, so at night you can always see it. And here's your space too for all your stuff. So it has, hand sanitizer bottle, so it's, fairly big. So it's about up to like, there. So it's about at least a good 6 inches or so. And some of the models I've seen have handles here that fold down. This one right here just has this right here, which is nice. I think this is leather. I know this is leather. The seats are cloth. Otherwise, there's that. So, and here's the shifter 2 park. There's also an interesting option where you can put it into optional manual mode. So when you're in drive, I'll see if I can do it. You put it to drive, just click it, and then you'll be in manual mode. Click it back, boom. And then this is too, if you want. This is your parking brake. You push it in, and then you pull it up. So you don't have to do that big. It's an electric one, which is really neat. And this is, you can turn your ABS off. I don't know why you want to do that. Well, I guess, yeah, because I know another thing too is if you're in four-wheel drive rock, I believe, four-wheel drive low, I think it's your ABS will turn off. Yeah, because otherwise, yeah, your ABS will turn off. And also too, it is, as far as I can tell, in auto mode, it is default all-wheel drive, and then it'll turn to four-wheel drive if you slip, or if you go in the right sitting, where it'll detect you need four-wheel drive. I'm not exactly sure if it's all-wheel drive where all the wheels have power, and you know it'll differentiate more or less different wheels as you slip, or if it's primarily 80 in the front, 20 in the back. I'm not exactly sure. It hasn't told me anywhere yet. But I will update the description once I figure that out too. Otherwise, this is the drink holders. They have like little rubbery things here, which is kind of neat. So you can fit pretty much any size cup here. And if it's a little bit bigger, it'll stay stuck. So it'll fit cans. It'll fit, you know, thermos, coffee mug things. Both coffee mugs and thermos containers. Obviously, there's nothing that's like, you know, too super big. Red trim. The other thing too is right here, it's also lit too. So at night, we really like that, you know, a lot of the things are lit. And so you can see, you know, not only like this is lit around here too, but and in here as well. But you can see the, you know, the drink cup holders are lit too, so you can see them in the dark. So you're not sitting there trying to fumble. And then another thing too is in the back, on the topic of the outlets, is that in the back here too, there is a full outlet here. Full, you know, outlet right here, so you can plug in, you know, plug in a laptop or something back there. So that's kind of neat. So they, you know, so it's like part roady campy vehicle, part like city stylish vehicle. It's really interesting, the mix. And oh yeah, and here's where one of the, I guess, Easter eggs is. If you notice up here too, there's like a little, if you can kind of see it, it's kind of hard, but there's like a little, oh no, you can't really see it. There you go. See if you can see that. There's a Jeep up there. You know, so it's like, it's like imagining these little dots up here as like dirt, and so it has that right there, which is really kind of cute, kind of interesting. Oh yeah, and then here's the oh crap handle, just to watch the language. There's the glove compartment. Now it's all blurry. There you go. Here's the manual too. Comes in a bag. It's kind of neat. So here's the manual and like the DVDs and stuff. There's that, and also there's the passenger seat. Yeah, the handles, yeah. And yeah, the lights up here too. There are these lights up here, which work on both sides. And then these are, which I kind of like, is that it has the, you know, you can kind of see yourself there. Hello. It has lit mirror, kind of tiny. It's about, you know, kind of tiny. It's not like the really big ones, so it's a little bit smaller. It's about 2 inches tall or so. But it has this nice little thing right here you can fold, and also too, another thing is you can take it off and it extends as well, like a big, at least, you know, that's a good 5-6 inches there. So you got this, and so, you know, if you really don't want to see your passenger, just kidding. But yeah, so if you're, you know, if you're going like this, you can either just extend it like this, if you know, for the sun. If you really it's just super bright, you can go like that and, you know, really block out the sun, you know, anywhere. So it has, you know, I really like these I don't really know what they're called, those things. Yeah, so this is the review for the Jeep Renegade 2016 model, Trailhawk edition. I hope you liked the review. If you have any other questions, I can do a second video in case I missed anything. I believe I got everything. Yeah, so feel free to let me know if I missed anything. If you're curious about anything else, I can make a comment or do another video. But yeah, there's Minnesota too. It's beautiful during the winter. And so definitely I thought this would be useful because Minnesota has such extreme weather conditions in the winter and summer, And so while this is primarily a winter review, it definitely does tackle the Minnesota winter really well. Heats super well. It takes maybe 10 minutes or less to heat up. The defrost options are amazing. Like, I remember test driving it, the windows were frosted, and I turned the defrost on, in a matter of probably 30 seconds, all the windows were, were defrosted. It was a light frost on the outside, so it wasn't like super -30, but I was still really impressed during just the test drive that it was off. And so yeah, so definitely this vehicle I would definitely recommend if you it is stylish, but aesthetics aside, it is very functional. The gas mileage is really good. Even if it doesn't get exactly 22, it does get at least around 19 or 20, which is about the same as mid-size car, the family sedan 4-wheel car, and it definitely has the ruggedness of the Jeep. And it's a little bit, I was told it's a little bit wider than other Jeeps too, and than other SUVs, as well as what else? It's a little bit wider, and I can't believe I just forgot the second thing. Yeah, it's a little bit wider, yeah, and than other SUVs. I forgot the second thing, but yeah, well, that's my train of thought. Yeah, Jeep Renegade. And so that's really nice too. And so definitely notice. I mean, given I've had like I think it was like a 2001 7L200, so that shocks were okay. But no, definitely going to this, I felt much more confident driving this during the winter, and just in general too, with the all-wheel drive, and knowing that I have 4-wheel drive. But it just handles turns really well, and it just feels really sturdy. It's a lot tighter. Bumps don't seem as bumpy. I totally am going to take this on trails. Totally, going to take this out once I get the trail hitch on. Take this out with bikes and stuff. Which gets me to another critique that I see a lot, is that this car is, has 4-wheel drive, and for some reason too, it has. I guess I could show the engine too, just so people know. Yeah, I'll quick do that. I'll also show you the engine as well. For anyone who wants that. But the vehicle has 9 gears, so so that's, don't know exactly why you need 9 gears, but it is. I think that kind of helps with the gas mileage. It's having all those gears. That's my guess, is to keep the gas mileage pretty moderate. That's probably why they did that. But another thing too is with the 9 gears, a lot of people critique it as being pretty slow. So I know I've seen some reviews say that say the negative of this is that it can go from 0 to 60 in like a few seconds. So okay, before we go on that, this is the engine, the interior here, so everyone's aware. So it's a 2.4 multi-air engine. This is the upgraded one. You can get the manuals with a 1 point something. This is a 2.4 and automatic. Is that, in case you're interested? Otherwise, yep. Always, yeah, it opens right here, so you can get your grills, and so it's a pretty, pretty small in the front too. But anyways, yeah, it's pretty slow, and so I mean it does. So with that, obviously this isn't a sports car, and so if you want something that can go 0 to 60 in like the blink of an eye, this is not your vehicle. Please don't buy this. But this is rated for trails, and so it's not. I think it's pretty, at least compared to my other car, it is pretty jumpy. It could just be that it's better built too, and better condition. But it is, I don't know the different gears, but definitely going on the highway, that's definitely when you see it kind of at its most sluggish. When you're going on the street, if you want to quick, make a yellow light, you'll be okay. You can easily, you tap a little bit, boom, you make the yellow light. But if you're trying to get on the highway, you have to really kind of, it's not dangerous, but definitely it's not super zippy. But at the same time too, this is a Trailhawk. This is ready to go on trails. So if you want something that can go 0 to 60, if you sneeze, like that's not to be, you're gonna crash into a tree. You're gonna, it's, unless you're gonna be, unless you go into a place that's gonna be infested by bears or rhinos or buffalo, where you need to go 0 to 60 to escape it. Like just stay away from those areas. You'll be okay. And I envision that this will be really good on trails because it is, while it's definitely really, it's not super sluggish, it's not, super zippy. So, you're not gonna like, zip around trails or whatever. This isn't a rally race car. So that definitely see this as a nice trail car. It's definitely good for off-road. If you don't want, it's definitely all-wheel drive, and I like the four-wheel drive for snow and the different terrain. So I want something that wouldn't get stuck, especially in like Minnesota snow. That can be, sometimes we could get snow that's 1 foot, 2 feet, and so definitely, I wanted something that was built for going in all different kinds of terrain. While this isn't invincible, it's definitely not the higher end Jeeps that can go in water and it's made to go up rocks. It definitely a lot more advanced than your typical all-wheel drive in-town SUV. And so it's definitely kind of like the shape of it. It's definitely a cross between like a city car and like an off-road rural car. And so if you like that mid-range, where you want something that's definitely good gas mileage in the city, or if you live in rural towns where everywhere you have to travel on the highway, it's definitely really good gas mileage on the highway too. But if you want to make sure that you can also, if you go to trails or go to parks, or if you like to do a lot of adventuring too, this also is built for adventuring as well. And yeah, so it's definitely a lot, it's definitely pretty tough for the city. It's not, I wouldn't take this to Africa, or to the extremes of Australia. But I mean, for everything that you can handle in America and Canada and Europe and the moderates of East Asia, definitely this car would definitely be really good. As I forgot to say at the beginning, this video isn't to try to sell this vehicle. I'm not trying to say buy this. I'm not going to tell you to buy it. I don't want to tell you what to do. But definitely this video is more for if you're interested in this, if you're looking at this and wondering about this, if you should get it, or what kind of vehicle you're looking into. If you want to upgrade to either a smaller SUV, for if you have a Suburban or Yukon, want to downgrade to a smaller SUV, or if you're going from a car like I did to an SUV, I definitely would recommend this. I think this would be very good. Again, kind of like the style, very good middle ground kind of blend of, it's because it's I think it's actually shorter than my other car too. So the dexterity, the driving of it is really good. It can take corners really well. It's not like a really tiny car like a Chevy Volt, or what are those really tiny little vehicles that are like a 2-seaters, like those are like little go-karts. It's not gonna zip around like a go-kart, but definitely it's not like you're driving like a semi-truck. Like it's actually turns corners better than my Saturn L200, which I really liked. One of the reasons why I got it too. So definitely it turns corners really well. The trunk space is a little tiny, as you can see, like of the car. It's probably really tiny compared to the rest of the car. But it definitely has lots of interior room. You can fit giant Minnesotans, and so the rest of the world should be okay. And it's a V4, 9 gear. So good on gas mileage. Yeah, so definitely, hopefully, this helps if you're thinking about this vehicle or other Jeeps, or thinking about Jeeps, or just kind of, like I said before, thinking about what kind of thing you want in a vehicle, why exactly you're getting a new vehicle, what kind of vehicle you're looking for, if you're, want to get a car, if you want to get an SUV, what kind of SUV. Yeah, so I guess ending number 2, the Minnesota goodbye, I guess. yeah, feel free to let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, so this is ending off now. Bye.